It is now time for What's Hot. This is where we talk about the stories that have us all talking.
We are joined by Susie Falk from the Falk Group, plus Jeff Wagner's back. Topic number one. Almost as soon as Satan appeared on screen in the third episode of the History Channel show The Bible, social media began saying the character bears a similarity to the president. While some say it was all part of a plan to smear President Obama's image. What do you guys think about this controversy?
Okay, I think this controversy is dumb as a bag of hammers. I mean, I'm sorry. This kind of started, I mean, Glenn Beck, who's a conservative talk show host or former talk show host, he sends out a tweet, and I think he was trying to be funny. Maybe it was funny, maybe it was, who knows. And then all of a sudden it picks it up, it takes its another life. CNN then wades in, being incredibly offended about this, and they do this thing. I just think this whole thing is silly, and I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, you know, unfortunately, he does look a little like Satan and Obama does. I mean, you can't help but ignore that. No. If you look at those,
character. Wait, you mean? Let me help you out here. You mean the character in the Bible? The character. Susie Falk.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay, stop it. The actor who plays that character has played these characters in the past, and so the producers of the show, the series The Bible, which I guess is very good. I haven't seen it yet. Like working with this guy. They worked with him before. He has played roles like this before. There was no intentional hiring of someone to look like Obama who could play the role of Satan. So, and I do think that as much as I don't like Glenn Beck, he was just trying to be funny.
And you know, you look at a picture of this actor out of makeup, and there is a resemblance between the two of them. I mean, that's it's undeniable. They do have a resemblance to each other.
Yeah, you know, it is. See, this, I think the larger issue this presents is this whole thing with sort of social media, that somebody says something either trying to be clever or stupid or whatever, and then all of a sudden 20,000 people pick it up on Twitter, and then, I mean, in some respects, I think social media is great, but at the other times, it's just making us all dumber.
Well, social media, but also, Ray, okay, let's go back to traditional media. I'm sorry, but the way CNN did that story about Glenn Beck, and you know what, I do like CNN, but I was disappointed by that coverage because they went deep into their CNN minds and got these Glenn Beck interviews about a few times that he linked words Satan to Obama and edited out all these words so that and Beck put it in context and he wasn't saying that.
Well,
shame
Beck
on
was
CNN.
Beck was trying to make a joke. Might have been a poor joke. Might have been in poor taste.
Sure.
He was trying to be clever.
Yeah, but Erin Burnett was trying to be clever too, and I think she did a really bad story.
Yep.
People need to mind their filters. Yeah. Coming up next, Powerball jackpot. It's over $300 million again. So what is here? And Jeff Wagner from News Radio 620 WTMJ as well. A Kentucky teen has been banned from saying the word bingo for 6 months by a district judge. Last month, he walked into a local bingo hall filled with patrons and shouted the word bingo as a joke. As you can imagine, that caused a bit of a stir. The teen now faces 90 days in jail, a $250 fine, but if he can avoid saying the word, say it with me everybody, bingo, charges will be dropped.
I think this is so silly.
It's a prank. You know what? And the kid, I think he's got he's got the right attitude. He's trying really hard not to say bingo. I guess as he was leaving the courtroom, you know, one of the court employees said, "Okay, now read the word," and it was bingo. And he said, "No, I'm not going to." And he said, "Good job." So, you know, and even in this interview, he's trying very hard not to say the word bingo. And I hope he has success and that he can avoid jail and that fine.
Okay, here's what I'm wondering about this whole story. Is this was apparently it was one of these bingo halls where it was predominantly like senior citizens, particularly women who were playing. What happens if somebody calls bingo and they don't have it? I mean, is that a felony instead of a misdemeanor? I'm just wondering here.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Gladys, you're wrong. You don't have bingo again.
How do you enforce this?
There.
I'm not quite sure.
I don't know.
They made the kid, he walks his dog by the bingo hall, and the judge said, "Look, dude, you got to rearrange your dog walking route because you can't go by that bingo hall."
See, of all the different pranks, when you think, and Susie, and we're not going to make you go on record, but maybe Chamraz there, of all the different pranks you play when you're a kid, I mean, this is really a pretty type of harmless one, you know.
You know, as one who went to a Catholic school and had the pleasure of setting up the tables and chairs on bingo night from time to time. I may have.
I went to pretty,
I may have done this once.
Steve, I was public schools in Racine, and the guys I hung out with, they stole the bell from the Taco Bell. I think it was on Durand Street. Who does that,
Taco Bell had a bell?
An actual bell.
Wow.
Well, if only we could win this much money playing bingo. The Powerball jackpot has grown to $320 million. Nobody won it last night. It could go up again before the weekend. By the way, you have a better chance of winning the jackpot than scoring a perfect basketball bracket. So, what would you guys do with the money if you won?
And for the record, my bracket's perfect right now, just so everybody knows.
What would I do with the money? I'd give it to the Hare Krishnas if they promise to stay out of the airports.
I figured you'd be buying a couple of racehorses, Jeff.
It's just an old joke. No, I don't. Can you imagine what you do? I always love the people who say, well, I'd be back at work the next day. Yeah, only if your workplace was Cancun. No, I think I'd be buying a place.
What would you guys do? Come on, anchors. What would you do?
That's a tough one.
We had a pool going last night, and I think the share was like after taxes, and the lump sum was like $2.5 million a piece. I'd probably keep working after that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that money.
I'm young enough where $2.5 million is not a ticket to retire.
Yeah, but what about $300 million?
Yeah, if you won the jackpot.
If you get it all to yourself, that's a whole other ball of wax.
Yeah, get an attorney right away. That's what they say to do.
Right.
In other words, send us a
Don't
postcard. I think Mr. Wagner and Mrs. Wagner, I think we're buying a place close to a golf course somewhere warm, and I will be delighted to phone in appearances from time to time. Thank you.
I've got college education in 2 years.
Jeff, ISDN line, you can be anywhere in the world.
And nobody would know.
Nobody
right?
knows.
We can dream.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Keep dreaming.